Hi, welcome to the Scrapbook Lounge. I'm Jenn Mason, and today I want to show you how to make this multi-purpose card that can hold theater tickets, a small scrapbook page or photos, and a small message all at the same time. Inside there are little pockets and it ties shut with a beautiful ribbon. So let's get started. I'll show you how to make it. The supplies used for this card are pretty simple, things you have around the house already. We're going to use some coordinating papers and some cardstock. The cardstock I'm using today happens to be a two-sided paper so that when you open it up you see the other color, but you can use a single-sided cardstock as well. The small piece of coordinating paper needs to be cut to 2 inches by 6 inches, but don't worry, all these measurements and the instructions will be on the design guide as always. The cardstock is cut in half into 6 by 12 inch pieces. So to start, what we want to do is take our 2 by 6 inch piece, that's going to be our spine, and we're going to glue it. I'm going to use glue stick today. I really love using glue stick, and some people have trouble with it adhering, and I'm going to show you a couple tricks to making it work. The first is that you need to take the glue all the way to the edge, and I can do that when I use a piece of scrap paper underneath. And then I'm going to set this aside because there's some glue on that. And now we're going to put on our covers, and I want to put the outside down. And I'm going to line this up almost with the seam. Now, we don't want it to go all the way to that fold that we made in there. We want to leave a little bit open so that this will open and close really easily. And the second trick to getting the glue stick to work is to burnish it. And I like to use my bone folder, and burnishing just means pushing pretty hard on the two papers to really make them adhere. And I can flip this over and do it on both sides. So this is the base of our card, but we obviously need to fold it a couple times to get it to the right size. So for the front of the card, what we want to do is fold this in half. Simply we're going to make this edge meet the other edge. And when we're going to fold, every time we fold, we want to lock the fold in the center and then go up and down on the fold, and we can even reinforce those folds with our bone folder. We're going to open this back up, and now we're going to make a diagonal fold that's going to create our pocket. So we're going to take this top edge and take it down to the center line of the fold we just made. So we push that down into place where we want it. Again, we lock it in the center, we go up and down, we use our thumbnail. I like to reinforce all my folds with my bone folder. So to make this pocket, we just need to put a little touch of glue stick in there because this folded edge is just going to make a nice top for our pocket. And we have our front cover, but because we want this to be a pocket, we need to glue this down on the bottom too. So I'm just going to use a little bit of double stick tape, a tape runner, and I'm going to run this along the edge. Press that down into place, and we've got our pocket and our front cover. To fold our back cover, what we need to do is fold this top piece over as our guide so we know where to fold our back cover over. And we're just going to push that down along there. We're going to lock our fold. We're going to take it up and down. We can even reinforce that again with our bone folder. I love using my bone folder. We can open this up. We have just 2 more folds left. This one's an easy one. We're just going to take this outside edge into the fold we just made. Again, lock your fold, go up and down, reinforce it with your bone folder. And the last one is another diagonal fold. We're going to make this top edge here match the fold we just made. Hold it into place, lock it, go up and down, and reinforce it. And we're going to use a little bit of glue stick in this corner just like we glued down the front cover, just to hold that little piece down and to give us a nice edge for this pocket. Also, because we're making a pocket, we need to use our double stick tape again. And we're just going to put a little tape there and a little bit of tape there. And when we push this down, that'll hold our pocket closed. So this is the main base of our book, except I really like the idea of this tying closed. So what we need to do is mark 2 spots where we're going to punch a hole so we can thread ribbon through this. This is a 6-inch card. So we can just take our ruler and measure 3 inches, which is halfway, on both sides. And then we're going to use a standard old hole punch. But we're not going to punch a whole circle. We're just going to line this up. And I like to use my hole punch upside down so I can cut half a circle. And I use a little bit of muscle there. And that way when I open it up, I have a whole circle. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to line up my hole punch with the mark I just made. Use a little muscle, and now I want to thread my piece of ribbon through here. I'm using a 36-inch piece of ribbon. You can use twill tape and you can use some decorative twine. anything you really want to use. If you need to use something thicker, you can use a bigger hole punch. If you want to use something smaller and daintier, you can just use a smaller hole punch. And this will tie our whole project closed, just like this, and then we would tie this shut. But when we open up our card, we see our ribbon, and so we don't want to do that. So what I'm going to take here is a piece of the other coordinating papers I have, and I've just mounted two pieces together to cover this up. The measurements are on the design guide, but you can really use whatever you want. It's a great way to use up your scraps from other projects, especially when you have those really great papers. You just don't want to throw away the scraps. I'm going to glue this up. I'm going to center it on here. And again, I'm going to use my bone folder to burnish that on so it stays tight. And it really covers up the ribbon. It just leaves that little bit showing on the side that says we've tied this together. So that is the basic book. Let me show you, go back to the beginning and show you what I've put in this one. Some ways you can embellish it. So again, we have our flap that opens up. And here I've added a photo and a little message. I could write another smaller message, a more personal message on here. And we've got a small gift certificate for the coffee shop, or even theater tickets, which would be my favorite. So I hope you enjoyed this project and have fun trying out your own coordinating papers and holidays to use this card for. Thanks for stopping by.